Hey guys, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Now today I have just noticed that there's a spider tournament coming out. These come around pretty often, to be honest, it's nothing new, but I thought I'd do a video on the spider team that I've been running recently. It's fairly free to play friendly, running potentially 4 rares and 1 epic, but most of the time it's 3 rares and 2 epics. No legendaries required, which is always handy, and you do not need to gear them that hard either. It's pretty easy to gear these champions, to be honest, especially if you're a mid to end game player. And I'll go into that in a second. I just wanted to go through one quick thing before we start the video. If you guys do spend money in this game, I've gone through this before, but this pack here is one of the better ones. 10 legendary skill tomes, 1.5 million silver and 1,000 gems for the 48 bucks. It's fucking expensive, don't get me wrong, it's raid though, but in terms of raid offers, this is one of the better ones. I don't really need any skill tomes right now. I've got most of my Legos skill toned up, so I don't need it, but if you guys do feel you want to spend any money, this is probably one of the better options out there, just to let you know. Yeah, so that is that. Anyways, let's go. What we'll do is we'll just go straight into a game, and I'll let you show how it works first, then we'll go through the gear, because I find it's much easier to do that. So I'm running a 3 cold heart strategy. So yeah, they are void, yes, so that's not as easy to get, but it's a rare champion, it is a rare, and I think I've probably had about 20, 30 plus cold hearts by now. I've obviously fed most of them as food, but these ones have all leveled up. So you do need to level all the 3 cold hearts up. That is the only stipulation about this. But even if you are a mid to end game player but you're struggling, because a lot of mid to end game players do struggle with Spider 20, it's definitely the hardest one to kind of build a decent team for, but you could definitely build a 3 cold heart strategy if you have the cold hearts, because the gear is not difficult to get them where they need to be, and there's so many champions that can make it even easier. I've actually got a legendary in here because I was just trying them out, but we'll run the team with, let's run it with Sentinel first. So you're basically using 1 Force Affinity tank to take the damage from the spider, and you just need 1 round of Hearthseekers to kill the boss. And the reason we're using is it Anya? I can never pronounce her name. Aina. Normally it would be Anya, but Aina. I don't know how you say it, but anyway, she has she's basically your Dracomorph. So if you had Draco would work infinitely better, but he's a legendary and nobody has him because he's extremely hard to get. So this is your kind of budget option. She basically places the weaken on one of her abilities, then the decreased defense on the other ability. She does not need to be skilled up, she doesn't need to be 6-starred. I've got her for some, I think I just ascended her once to get the weekly bonus or whatever it is. She has to have good speed, so she have to run her at 230 speed plus. I've got her at 230 exactly and she works fine, but I will show you how the composition works. So it's a fully auto team, like I say. Right, so you run the composition first. You'll see Anya, wherever you go, she goes in, boom, hits her weaken, and then you will see the first, obviously the cold hearts never use their Hearthseeker first, which is really annoying because you could literally do like a 10-second run with like a Draco if you had that. But yeah, so I've got the Sepulture, she's put up the block debuffs, taking a bit of the damage. There goes the decreased defense. Hearthseeker 1, Hearthseeker 2, and then Hearthseeker 3 dead. So we're 29 seconds there. It usually runs between sort of 27 to 33 seconds for a Spider 20 run. There's ways to get it down to easily sort of 20 seconds if I glyphed up my cold heart speed or just use better gear, because if I had the cold hearts at I think it's about 190 speed, that second run of spiders wouldn't attack, which cuts out a lot of animation. Also, I'm using like the high frame rate thing. I mean, you can muck about with your frame rates and quality and make it much quicker. So you could really get this down to about, I say about 18 second runs. But I'm fine with 27-second runs. That's fine. It's usually between 27 and 32. It comes in at, depending on what champions you use. Let's do. I'll edit the team and I'll show you another version of it before we go in. So you don't have to use, if you don't have a Sepulture, there's lots of options you can use. You can definitely use a Doom Priest. Now, I think my Doom Priest... In fact, what I'll do is I'll show you Umbral first, because she's actually one of the better ones. Umbral's not Force Affinity, but if you go into the battle here, she's got the Provoke, the AoE Provoke, which is really, really handy for this. So again, Anya puts on the weaken. I don't know what speed my Umbro's at, I should have checked that first. Oh, there we go. Boom, so we got the provoke and we got the unkillable, so she can't die. There, she's taken all the hits. So this is another really, really good champion to use for this ability, for this team. Heartseeker 1. Yeah, really handy too. And again, if that champion, last champion, Coldheart, was faster, I would have put that in much earlier. That was a bit slower, so the animation from Umbro put that up a bit, so slightly slower run. But again, I could speed that up massively if I speed up my Coldheart. I think that last one is only running at about 160 speed because I haven't put good gear on them. Let's quickly try. Take out the Umbro. So this would be a really good option. So you've got Mausoleum Mage. Now the great thing about Mausoleum Mage, if you're struggling for that crit damage, which I'm going to show you in a minute on the Cold Hearts, this guy puts up a 30% increased crit rate, and you get 30% increased crit rate already from the Heartseeker, so potentially you're only going to need to run, that's 30 plus 40% crit rate, which is fantastic. And he also puts the block debuffs on, so it'll stop those poisons coming through, and his force affinity. Now you have to make sure they're not too much HP or defense, because there seems to be a limit. I think I ran it with a Doom Priest one time, which was about 50k HP and about 5k defense. It was quite good stats for a Doom Priest. And yeah, the spiralings just basically bypassed the Doom Priest altogether and went straight to the Cold Heart. So there seems to be a limit, but generally if you run him with decent enough stats, he would be a fantastic option if you're struggling for the crit damage, which I will show you in a minute, because it's kind of 300 plus that you need. So that is an option. I've got him geared out for Arena right now with about 78k HP, so I don't think he'll work. Let's just try the Doom Priest. I have no idea what the stats on Doom Priest are, but let's just go ahead and see what happens with Doom Priest. So he actually puts up an attack buff as well, which doesn't really make a difference, to be honest. It's the max HP scales of critical damage. Okay, he's pretty tanky, so he's taking a few hits. This seems to have worked. There goes the defense. One Heartseeker. Ooh, that might not work actually, because I might get killed. Yep. Okay, so see, I think that Doom Priest isn't tanky enough, so I just need to build a bit more defense. I've probably just got him in really bad gear, but as long as he could take a couple more hits from that poison, I would have been absolutely fine. Let's just go. So let's go and look at the stats. Just out of interest, I'm just going to check that Doom Priest. Oh yeah, so I've just got kind of second-rate lifesteal gear on him. 4k defense, that's the problem. Not much health. Yeah, so you'd want about sort of 4.5 plus. You could run him with loads of resistance and try and resist the poisons, actually, that might work. But that is one option, but you get the idea. My Mausoleum Mage, it would have been, oh no, that probably would have worked with Mausoleum Mage actually. Let's just go through the Cold Hearts. So this is your main three. So Cold Hearts, as you can see, there's like 5-star gear here. This is mostly second-rate gear from my kind of premium champions that I've put on the Cold Hearts. Most of it's not even leveled up, so there's a level 12, 12, 12. Yeah, I've not. So you can see it's not that difficult to gear these guys. The first Cold Heart, this is the fastest one, so you need one of the Cold Hearts at sort of 180 plus speed, preferably sort of 190 to get past the second wave of spiraling attacks, and you need with 250 plus accuracy just to guarantee you get that hit on the main boss, just to lower his turn meter. And then as long as you've got that one, the other two don't really matter. This guy's got 230 accuracy anyway, just with the gear I got, so this Cold Heart will also hit the decreased turn meter, but at much lower speed, 160. This is the one I really need to get up. And then the third one is 164 speed, so again pretty slow. But as you can see, we're running 70% critical rate, which is what you want with the Cold Heart, because the Heartseeker has an extra 30% chance of inflicting a critical hit. Now the damage increases according to enemy max HP is what kills the spider. Obviously the spider has crazy max HP, and this does really good damage to it, as you've seen. So yeah, so you're looking for 70% crit, so it's sometimes hard to get 70 on the button, so I've got 72 here. 332 is fantastic critical damage. You really need, it's like, I think it's probably 310 plus to make this work. So let's just go the first one here. I've got double speed and crit rate on her. Incidentally, the other two I don't even have full sets, I've got broken sets, so again, I could really amplify these stats up if I wanted to, but you don't really need to once you're killing the spider in that quick a time anyway. So again, 5-star gear here, but you're looking for crit damage, crit rate, and then double rolls on crit damage sort of stuff. That was a really good piece, crit rate and crit damage, but again, it's only a 5-star piece. Got a flat attack chest, but it gave me that little bit of crit rate and an extra bit of speed that I needed, but this could easily be changed out. You can put stuff like defense, flat defense or defense percentage on these guys just to give them a little bit of survivability. Makes them useful for other content as well, you know, if you're using your cold hearts in other dungeons and they need to survive. Yeah, on every single cold heart you need crit damage gloves, and they need to be preferably 6-star, really 6-star to make it work. This is a terrible roll, I got a triple defense roll, but none. I mean, the triple accuracy would have been the best option here, but this champion already has 260, so it doesn't really matter. And then speed boots, you will need speed boots just to get. It needs to be faster than sort of 140 just to get past the first wave of spiders, and make sure you do that Hearth Seeker before they get killed. That's if your tank dies. If your tank's good enough like an Umbrella, it doesn't actually matter. It just means you're going to have a slower run. In terms of the accessories, the ring doesn't matter too much. You could really have anything. The attack's not doing a whole lot of good in this fight. It's mainly crit damage, so you could just get anything. I generally go for a bit of survivability, but on this case I've actually just used one of the legendary rings that had a bad roll, and I thought, you know what, I'll chuck it on here. A little bit of HP makes the cold hearts less likely to get targeted, so I just fired that on. Doesn't really matter. You need a 6-star crit damage amulet, that's a definite, preferably with accuracy is good, and then an accuracy banner for at least one if not two of the champions is good, just so you can lower that turn meter of the main boss. But then the other one you could just stick on anything that has a decent speed roll, really. The speed's quite a key to it. So that's the first one. The second cold heart we're running in broken sets, and again a lot of them 5-star, not so good gear, but we've got a triple crit rate roll on this cruel piece, that's why we used it. I'm using just basic life gauntlets, but they've got a crit damage with a triple attack roll, which is pretty nice. Again, if I had a decent 6-star crit damage cruel to put on this, it would make the champion pretty decent. Got a defense based chest with a triple crit damage roll. Again, it doesn't really matter about the main stats. For once, normally when you're building champions you're looking for those main stats. You're just looking for substats with triple and double, or if you can ever get one, quadruple crit damage rolls. So we've got double there, triple there, none on there obviously because it's got crit damage on it, double there, none on there, but we got decent crit rate out of that one. And yeah, so again, doesn't really matter about the ring. We've got the 6-star crit damage, and we've got accuracy again on this one with speed and attack, so that was quite a good roll. So you get the picture, guys, but if you're mid to end game, you're gonna have rolled up a bunch of gear, and sometimes you'll just get really bad gear with like bad main stats, but then like a triple or double on crit damage, so it's worth keeping a hold of those pieces of gear. And then the last one, again broken sets, we've got a random accuracy gloves to get the 6-star crit damage. Double crit rate on that was actually really good, and there we go again, crit damage, double crit damage, one on crit damage but double speed there. Oh, you know what, there's actually something I've not even noticed, so that's 164. I've not even leveled these boots up, so I can now get another 16 speed out of this. Yep, so 45. So yeah, 16 speed onto this is going to put this champion up to 180, so that's going to lower my time massively actually. So right, and next we're moving on to the main culprit of the team, which many people do not use. It's a very underused champion, but the beauty of this is you do not need her in any good gear. You don't need to level her up, you don't need to send her, anything like that. You could even run her at 4-star, to be honest. She just needs to do one job. She needs two things. She needs speed and accuracy, that is it. So she needs 230 speed plus, and at least, I've got her on 242, but I'm going to try, there is the odd occasion where it gets resisted at that, so realistically I want to get her up to like sort of 260, 270 would give me the ultimate sort of, you know, it's always going to work that sort of way. So, but I've just chucked bad gear on her, to be honest. I've got speed boots from Toxic set, I've got random, as long as I've got speed, so I was just looking for bad gear with decent speed rolls. Plenty of accuracy gear here to give her the accuracy. I could level her up to 6-star and get an accuracy banner and get her sort of 300 plus. But it's working just now, and like I say, I could glyph some of the accuracy rolls, I could get better gear on her with more accuracy and stuff like that, so it would be easy enough to get decent stats on her. Masteries, I don't have anything on her, so don't even need that. Again, I could put the masteries on her and get more accuracy that way, so, but yeah, why invest the time if you don't need to? Yeah, I've not actually ascended her as well, because it doesn't matter. This does a bit of extra healing really. All you need is to land the 60% decreased defense buff. You need to book her because it gives her a 100% chance on that, and it also changes this to 100% chance, so she does need booked. That's the only thing that she does need. And yeah, so the other roles are things just like any force champions. Who did we use to begin with? Sepulture, she's just in kind of basic lifesteal gear, just a kind of basic run. She's only 3.7k defense, but she's pretty tanky anyway. Yeah, she's not a good build at all, but I just threw her in some random gear to show you how this would work. Not even leveled up any of her stuff here. I've got her in an accuracy banner that's not even got a single roll on it. Yeah, just defense, defense, and defense though. The good thing about her is she puts on the block debuffs, which is quite nice for the poisons. You've seen the build for Doom Priest. She needs to be quite a bit tankier to make her work. And like I say, Mausoleum Mage, there is potential for rares. Now, one of the rares that would work that I did have a wee look through was this guy here, Blood Painter. So if you were to build a Blood Painter up with really decent defense and HP, and you've actually got a really nice fill the turn meters of all allies except this champion and put an increased attack buff, so that will make your Cold Hearts go faster. And as long as he was just taking the sort of tanky hits from the spiders, then your Cold Hearts are going to go before the second wave of attacks and then kill them anyway. So this would definitely be an option. It would just be building them in really, really solid gears to make sure. He could even go really high resist plus defense to stop the poisons coming through, but I think he would definitely work. I've just not put the effort into actually leveling him up. So anyway guys, that's the build. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell button for notifications. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day guys. Peace.